Today I'm sharing with you a witch's Bealtaine, the day of and several of the days around the week of Bealtaine in the Northern Hemisphere. Come with me as I take a walk through my local woodlands, connecting to plant spirit allies on my land and creating herbal remedies, as well as a tarot reading for Bealtaine. Come with me to the woodlands as I talk about connecting to plant spirit allies and spirit flight, and join me for a magical love working. So get yourself a nice hot drink, settle back, relax and enjoy. As I'm sure many of you know, Beltaine, Bealtaine, May's Eve, May Day, or Walpurgisnacht, Hexennacht, is commonly celebrated on April 31st. Walpurgisnacht is April 30th, a Germanic Christian celebration named after Saint Walpurga. May's Eve, or May Day, is May the 1st, and so Bealtaine is commonly celebrated during April 31st, the eve of April 31st. Bealtaine is an Irish fire festival and is known on the Wheel of the Year as a greater sabbat. The first mention of the celebration, referred to as Beltaine, derives from the Golden Bough by Sir James Frazer, and the word is likely linked to the Irish word bell, meaning bright or fortunate. The first historical record of Beltaine is in Cormac's glossary and was most likely recorded by the Catholics rather than the pagans. It's described as a festival of two fires through which cattle were guided to pass between to protect the herd and the milk from diseases. And whilst it's a time now most notably associated with the celebration of life, fertility, sexual union, from an agricultural perspective, our ancestors would have been running low on food stores and praying for an abundance of crops for the next harvest. So it might have been quite a meagre time, but the people would have been celebrating and honouring the season of fruitfulness as things started to come into bloom, and the fires were thought to be protective, sacred rituals to secure the abundance of the coming crops. As I said, Walpurgisnacht, or Witchesnacht, Hexennacht, occurred on April 30th, and many people today celebrate it that evening through to May 1st. It was named after Saint Walpurga, who was part of the Christianization of Germany. On this night, Christians would build bonfires and pray to Saint Walpurga to protect themselves against the malefica of witches. The irony being, of course, that it gradually became a holiday that real witches celebrate and were able to frolic and celebrate their beliefs and practices. May Day is an English derivation of Beltaine and frequently involves a maypole, May Queens, Morris dancing, feasting and games and ritual celebrations to mimic the union of the god and goddess. The maypole is known to be a very phallic symbol. The intertwining of the ribbons symbolises the intertwining as the coming together to create. Beautiful ways to celebrate the Sabbat include taking nature walks, decorating your home and altar with blossom, baking cakes or breads with milk, eggs, honey, oats, fruit and flowers, culinary grades such as roses or lavender. Many make offerings to the fair folk or deities, and many choose to celebrate love and pleasure with themselves or with a significant other, as well as performing rituals for abundance, calling in wealth, prosperity and good luck, as well as protection. And of course, a great way to celebrate is hosting a bonfire or lighting a candle to meditate upon. I have a number of other videos on Beltaine, Bealtaine on the channel, and those include more historical context and folklore around the celebration, and this video is going to be much more about my personal experiences this Bealtaine. Bealtaine is one of my favourite sabbats, and not least because everything starts to bloom, and so I've been spending a bit of time in the garden. I've been going through some of the plants from last year to see, and the mugwort is really strong in the pots, and this is my beautiful jasmine as well, who is not flowering yet. I have one rose that is blooming, which I will show you in a sec, and several rose bushes at the back that are not yet blooming, but I also found my sage, which is doing really well at the back. And this is my mugwort in the garden, which is just doing so well. It's really in abundance now, and I've got all these beautiful dandelions as well, which I love. And So I have no problem with them spreading around because I have a very wild garden and it's exactly as a witch what I want. So this is my beautiful rose out the front that is blooming already. It's the only rose currently blooming, but it's stunning. I do think that I need to treat this particular plant. She's beautiful, and just the sight of this, it just brings me so much joy to see her. And it's been really, really sunny and beautiful as well. So I've been spending a lot of time outside, going for walks with Coco and just taking my time around the garden. For my breakfast, I have 2 eggs scrambled with smoked salmon and 3 egg whites. I have some kale with some salt and some apple cider vinegar. I also had some apple cider vinegar in my water this morning, which I have every morning for my digestion. Then I've got like watercress and rocket, and I think there's some spinach in there as well, and some sourdough because I've run out of my special soda bread. And then I've got a protein coffee. So I just add my plant-based protein powder, and it's in my favourite mug. Wouldst thou like to live deliciously? I just love that film so much. So today I am going to make some more of my soda bread rolls because I just love them. They're so good for my digestion. I just notice how good I feel after. So simple and easy and quick to make, and I just love the taste of them. And they've got the Faye Greek yogurt in them as well, so they're like rich in protein, so I love those. So I'm going to make those in a bit, but first I'm going to eat my breakfast, and I'm also going to harvest some more nettles as well. If you've been on my channel for any length of time, you'll know that I do have a relationship with nettles as a plant spirit ally, and I regularly will forage for them in the spring and the summer to craft tinctures, to dry them to make for teas and making decoctions. And that's what I was doing here. I have noticed this year they've got more of those sort of little flies and some of this like cottony substance on them. So I took my time to wash these off carefully. Now, most people will use gloves. I don't. I choose to offer the sting of my skin to the nettles, and that is a personal choice. I understand the discomfort that it can cause. I mean, for me, I don't tend to feel it so often in the moment. Sometimes there's a little prick, but it's later on when it's quite itchy. So that can be bothersome, but just if, you're doing this, I would advocate using gloves. It's just my choice. There is also some evidence to suggest that being stung by nettles whilst uncomfortable in the moment, the toxins in the sting, formic acid specifically, can have some beneficial effects on inflammation and can help to release histamine and serotonin to reduce pain. So some sufferers of arthritis and other painful conditions do actually utilize nettles, and that's another reason why I choose to allow myself to receive the stings. So I've washed a lot of the bugs and things off now by hand, spoken to the plant spirit ally and connected in, just spent some time with it, received some wisdom and some clarity, and I asked it to help me guide in terms of healing the plant itself. And then just spent some more time imbuing some intentions into the nettles and asking the nettles for their support and care, for nourishing my body with nutrients and vitamins, as well as strengthening, supporting with inflammation, to reduce inflammation and pain, as well as itchiness, and giving energy and that beautiful way that it does. I'm really, really keen on nettles as a plant spirit ally. They are so full of nutrients and vitamins, and I've made a video on my channel about nettle pesto, which was the best pesto I've ever made. It's so, so good. I have made it before with parmesan because my family eat cheese as well, and so do I. It's just in the past I've switched it up, and I've used different nuts as well as a combination, but you can click over and see that. Right here, I'm using half of these nettles to create a decoction to drink across a couple of days. And it is so, so good. I mean, I love taking my tincture, which I will show you while I'm making this. I just think that it's so, so nice having a fresh, cool drink of these beautiful nettles because you get so used to the flavour profile. It's sort of like swamp water, but in the best possible way. And I cannot quite describe it. You can almost feel it working its goodness from the inside out. And I kind of got a bit of addicted to the taste of them, to be honest. They're so good, and it's just so good for you as well. Nettles are typically associated with the planetary correspondence of being ruled by Mars, making them hot, dry, stimulating with the element of fire, according to Nicholas Culpeper. More modern herbalists align nettles with the energies of Cancer and Jupiter for some of their other herbal and medicinal properties. Magically, nettles can be extremely protective and applied for a variety of different intentions within magical work. This is my leftover new moon water. I set a particular intention with this new moon water. My husband and I had some of this new moon water together. This was the new moon in Taurus. Really, really loved doing this practice, which I haven't done in a while actually, but it was incredibly supportive for what I was working on. This is my nettle tincture that you'll have seen in other videos, and I prepare some of this every year. Basically, I have a big vat of it still left, so I will make some towards the end of the season. I tend to put about 3 full dropperfuls in my water. So nice. This is my chia seeds, cinnamon and lemon water. It looks gross, but it helps me be regular because I've had some issues with that in the past few years as my fibromyalgia became worse. So this is a daily practice for me now, and it really, really helps to keep things moving and keep things feeling healthy in my digestive system. And that's just been a big, big part of my healing, because whatever doesn't go out is stuck within you. So I'm making some of my lovely soda bread rolls as well, which you have seen perhaps if you've watched some of these other vlogs. They're really simple. I'll leave the recipe below. So for this one, I used a combination of spelt white flour and wholemeal spelt flour. The spelt is just less processed, essentially. It's a more ancient way of processing the grains to make the flour. Stirring in a protective banishing pentagram, and I'm adding in my Faye yogurt. Now this just means that they're really rich in protein, because there's so much protein in this yogurt, and I've also noticed like the impact it has on my digestion as well, and like how I feel in my body. So really healing myself, trying to heal myself with the foods I eat. And I've noticed from eating these bread rolls each day rather than processed bread, I just feel a lot lighter and a lot healthier, and I'm able to notice the changes that it makes. So it's really easy to make if you haven't made soda bread before. I've made soda bread for a very, very long time, since I was a young girl, a teenager. I made it a lot in my 20s, especially when I worked a lot in London. I love, love, love how easy and quick it is. So in my 20s, I used to make it all the time. As I worked in London, I was really busy. I didn't live in London. I lived like 3 hours away. So I'm really used to making soda bread. I love making yeasted bread as well, but these are just so quick and they're so delicious. So I tend to make a batch worth that will last me for a couple of weeks, around 12 rolls. Sometimes I make slightly less, put them in a freezer bag, and then eat one a day. So this is some of my lunch. I've got some fish with some like harissa and some roasted broccoli and some sweet potatoes and carrots, and then some spinach. And this is one of my yogurt bowls that I'm also enjoying, and I put some biomel, which is this digestive support, in there. And here is my nettle decoction after I strained the nettles out. You can see the beautiful colour it has. This lasts me for about a day. I just sip on it. So I thought I would share as well a little bit of my Bealtaine reading. And I basically decided to pull some cards along the lines of my friend Manuela's healing with the Wheel of the Year tarot spread. And that is a beautiful spread that is kind of dynamic and you can work with throughout the year. So I will link to Manuela's videos so you can go and check out that spread. But essentially you can kind of tailor it to how you want, and every sabbat there's a prompt, but you can kind of use it to pull cards on whichever areas of your life you feel you need clarity. So the idea is you pull 3 cards at the start, and then each sabbat you pull another card for each topic. So this is my Bealtaine spread, So I pulled a card for love and for work and career and for health, and then for a specific situation as well that I feel, I'm stuck on and that's holding me back. And so I decided to share that because I had a beautiful chat with my friends as well about the cards, and we were able to chat through some of the meanings of the cards in our spreads. And obviously each of our spreads are really different and everything, but from mine I know like my friends were like so supportive and helpful, helping me extract some gold from these cards. And just wanted to share, like, really, because the beauty of these cards is just stunning. I got this deck the end of 2024, I think, or sort of, yeah, the latter half of 2024, and I have just been absolutely loving it. So I wanted to share. That's my Bealtaine spread. But yeah, just absolutely loving the vibes, and especially like this card. I was working with this card for a while, and I think these are really, really beautiful cards that you can kind of step into and embody and just work with. I think the imagery, there's so much to get from it. So it's really, really helped with some clarity for me. So I thought I'd share that with you as well.
That was high. Which is...
Oh, you have a go now, Mummy.
Yeah, you got some.
Okay.
I'm not experienced. Mum, do it like hard. Okay.
Woo! Better? I also thought I'd share a couple of other pictures. This is one of my favourite meals at this time of year, and we make several other recipes from the Yottom Ottelenghi cookbook. So it's like Eastern Mediterranean recipes, and they're just so good. So we do like a really nice roasted chicken and then these other side dishes and flatbreads, and it's so yummy. And we also went to visit the lambs for Lambing Sunday around May Day, and that was really, really sweet and cute as well. So I also paid a visit to our local woodlands, which I love to explore. If you have been on my channel for any length of time, you'll have seen. It was just such a beautiful, beautiful day. I haven't been in a couple of weeks, so it was really beautiful to see the changes. And this, you may recognise. This tree here is a beautiful beech tree that I visit often. I frequently sit with and talk to, meditate with, and I have cried with a number of times, and it's given me so much peace and wisdom and clarity and understanding, and it really speaks to the way I move in this space. So I wanted to talk a little bit about walking in your local natural environment, observing the seasons as they pass through in your local bioregion, and connecting to the plant spirits, the wildlife, and the tree spirits as they blossom and bloom throughout the seasons, to observe and to connect in, and to really listen, to take your time to sit with. You can often tell if a tree or a plant will want to communicate with you. You'll know. I'm making an offering to this tree as well, which I regularly do, make offerings of water. But just sitting with a tree, offering your breath, offering your voice, offering a poem or a song, which I have also done before, and I love, love, love to do that. Also wanted to touch on spirit flight and astral travel with your local natural environment. This is a place that I visit in person, but it's also a place that I visit within the astral realms. And Bealtaine, just like Samhain, as many of you will know, is considered to be a time when the veil is thin. I mean, I'm of the opinion that if you are attuned to the spirit world and you're practiced in the art of spirit flight and in connecting to your local flora and fauna, then I believe that it's possible to astral travel at any time, of course, and to have spiritual experiences and to experience a thin veil at any time, not just limited to Samhain and Beltaine. But yes, to many people, I think this time is a time of accelerated kind of spirit work and communication, they find. And I myself have experienced more in-depth kind of experiences with beings at this time, in some seasons, not all, because things happen at all times as well. I love to take a walk within nature and to just sink into the trance state. And it's really important to talk about safety as well when wandering around your local woodlands or natural spaces, to wander in a walking meditation, but to be sure that you're not going to get lost, to know your terrain, someone know where you are, and maybe have someone with you as well, and have your phone with battery and water and things like that, and just safety. I myself have taken walks into the wilderness of this woodland, and I have sort of gotten a bit lost, and I think I could have been hoodwinked and spirit led, but I don't think I was. I think I came out because I didn't feel so welcome. The field is a beautiful, beautiful space that I absolutely love to visit, and this is a place that I visit in spirit flight as well, and it's a space where I like to jump the hedge, and the trees are just breathtakingly beautiful and they feel extremely magical. So I connect in when I'm at home as well as connecting in real life, and I first encountered this space in real life and then visited it in spirit flight, and then I regularly visit and make offerings and spend time, and I meditate in the space as well. Again, if you're able to do that, that's really great, to sit and meditate, or to do, as I said, that walking, sinking into trance states when you're in these spaces, as long as you're safe. But to really take your time and to cultivate a practice where you're listening in and offering your time and energy and breath to the spirits of the plants and the trees, and to know that they're not there to serve us, they're not there as a resource. The plants, the trees are sentient beings that are constantly, innately creating and manifesting truth, wisdom, beauty, joy, clarity, balance and harmony in our world, and they give the world life, essentially, and we as humans have treated them for a long time as resources to take from and to use, and I really don't like to do that in my practice. I want to be treating these plants as I would another human being, another person, because they are people. I treat them as friends, ancestors, spirit allies, and I offer water, as I said, song, dance, biodegradable gifts, not things like chocolate or anything that could be harmful, nothing like wine or salt that could be harmful to the earth or to animals. Always ask permission before sitting down and spending time in a space, and I will ask permission before I harvest or take anything from the space, and you will know when it's a no. You'll just get a feeling that it's not. If you're in doubt as well, it's a no. But just taking time in the space, because everything is alive and everything is sentient, and that includes all of the stones and the rocks, the minerals in the earth, the soil, everything. And so just treat this space like the sacred space that it is. Picking up litter is another way to honour and offer your respect and love to the earth and the space, and with a sense of kind of curiosity as well as gratitude. You can also pick up dog litter as well. Some people will leave their dog litter, unfortunately. But yes, I have built a connection to this forest over a decade of living in the local vicinity in various different houses, because we've moved, but in the vicinity. So tuning to the space, connecting to various plant spirit allies and taking your time, and you will learn more about the plant spirit allies as you listen and talk to them in situ where they grow, the live plant. And then if you have some at home, if you're able to harvest any, if it's safe to, and if you're given that go ahead and you're doing so with respect, and you can dry some of the plant matter if it's a safe plant, not a baneful plant, of course. And then acknowledging the spirit and thanking the spirit. Acknowledge any spirits as well that might reside within the trees, such as elementals or tree spirits, dryads, etc. And yes, there is an overarching kind of spirit of a tree, like a beech tree, but then there may be individual spirits living within specific trees as well. And also spending time with some of the deceased trees as well is a really, really profound experience. And they might feel different each time. You might get certain feelings from different trees. Just spend time with them, touch them if you are able to, if it's safe to. Remember, yew trees are highly toxic. Listen to them, ask for their wisdom, take time to get to know them, and don't expect anything. Don't expect answers. Don't expect them to give you anything, and they might not want to spend time with you, so just don't force it, you know, just trust in what comes up for you, and then recording your experiences and being really mindful about your experiences and allowing them to guide you is really, really powerful practice. Wow, you're so beautiful. I also discovered on our walk through the woodlands this incredible stick. As you can see, it seems like it was part of a tree. I think that it was one of the trees that had been felled. They practiced felling, so they cut down a number of the trees. It's just giving me like Ace of Wands vibes, and it's just so beautiful, the twisted root around the bark. So I did ask if I could take that home, and happily I did. And then I also performed a spell, and this was a love working for myself and my hubby, and I created a sigil. There's a number of very personal correspondences that are incorporated into this spell for a number of reasons. I'm not going to explain what the overarching intention was or anything like that because it's very personal, but essentially I wrote out an incantation and I utilised that, and my husband also wrote some things down as well for this. Also, I utilised an oil that I had created for this purpose, as well as some special love rice that I created myself and anointed the candle with the oil and then the rice. I also carved a hole in the bottom of the candle beforehand and included some of our personal taglocks for the spell. I recorded things in my journal beforehand, so I had that with me. I also utilised a lot of shell energy within this spell as well because it's very relevant. And the figures, that's actually a candle I purchased years ago now, and so that was part of the spell as well. So this was really, really beautiful working that I really enjoyed, and my hubby and I put a lot of energy into it together, so that was really, really nice and special. I've also been reading this massive tome edited by the amazing Stephen Skinner. So this is Aleister Crowley. So I've been making some notes, and yeah, I feel like it's one of those things where you read it and then as soon as you're finished, you've forgotten it all. And my brain is very much like this with fibromyalgia. It's fibrobrain, and I'm exhausted, shattered. My body feels so heavy. So I'm going to close my eyes, have a little bit of a breather. But that's it for me. So thank you so much for joining me for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed spending some of the days of Bealtaine and the week of Bealtaine with me and visiting the woods with me and practicing some magic with me. I want to thank you for being here, and if you did enjoy the video, please do drop a like, hit the thumbs up button, share it with anyone who you think would also enjoy it. Please also leave below what you did for Bealtaine this year, or if you're still celebrating indeed, which I am going to continue to bask in the glory of the blooming roses in my garden and the woods, and the weather is really warm here at the moment, so I'm just absolutely loving it, basking in it, and my body definitely enjoys the warmer weather, but not too hot, so this is perfect. So please leave a comment letting me know what you enjoyed, experienced for Bealtaine, and how you celebrate, if at all, and anything else that you're experiencing at the moment in your practice. I'd love to hear. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and if you'd like to support me, I also have a Ko-fi, a Buy Me a Coffee page, a direct PayPal link, I have Patreon, I have an old TikTok page, and Instagram, of course, which is below, and there's also the super thanks as well if you feel so inclined. But just you being here, liking, sharing, subscribing, watching is everything I could ever want and dream. So thank you so much for being here. I hope that you are well and that you continue to stay well. Look after yourselves. I look forward to seeing you in another video really soon. All right, many blessings. Bye.